If I was driven to your house and we rolled up in there, that could easily have happened. But
No,
I wouldn't remember because I remember if I drive to someplace, but if I was driven, I wasn't. Yeah.
I get it. No problem, man. I was telling Ren the same thing. I don't remember Ren being in my house. I was at your house every day with Easy. I don't remember that, dude. You was too goddamn quiet. I don't remember. Yeah, man, I was there with Easy. You got a studio, you got a fish pond, you got this. He described my backyard to the T. I
Nice.
could put you in it nowhere if I wanted to. But yeah, man, and it's really, you know what? Let me say something to you right quick.
Yes, sir.
For me, as an old school player, when I reach out for another old school player and they respond like they give a damn, man, I got to give you a shout out for that, dude, because I haven't talked to you in God knows how long. But when we made the connection, I lost your number. I just saved it. I erased it by mistake. My boy gave it back to me again, and I was trying to get you. I've been super busy. You called me to remind me, hey, man, we're still doing the interview. I said, yes. You said, cool. I said, send me your email address. He sent it to me right away. And the communication, dude, I don't know if you realize or not, but doing these podcasts, working with guests can be one of the most
Oh yeah,
nice things in the world. And it's really,
I know.
for me, it's refreshing to work with another brother who understands, hey, man, let's communicate. We got these things on our hips. We got these things. We spent $1,000 for these damn things. Let's use them. And you
Yeah,
use yours. I appreciate that, man. It's just showing you some old school love, Doc.
and back at you. Look, man.
Real talk.
Like I said, that 21-month period. The older I get, and the more I look back on my the more I look back on it, I really cherish that time. And were a part of that time, and also witnessed me during that time. I cannot tell you how many people I have to school on actually, you know, having local records and having to run around and do in stores and things like that. And before Bust a Move, when it was like, let them know my name is Young, even know how when we first got the Island deal. You know what I mean? So, and
Wow.
to answer Art Chavez's question, yes, I was interviewed multiple times by Fab Five Freddy. One of my fondest memories was running around London with Fab Five Freddy and Soul to Soul looking for Jamaican food. You know what I mean? And this is before yeah. I definitely Fab Five Freddy's a G. Absolutely.
Man, legend right there. Hey, Lonzo mentioned Body and Soul, Rose and D earlier, and it sparked a question that I wanted to ask you about. One of my favorite songs on this planet to this day is We're All in the Same Gang. How were you approached to be on We're All in the Same Gang? And can you tell us about recording that song and shooting the video, please?
Well, the word was out that Mike Conception wanted to put something together, and I was one of the first ones to agree to it. And I actually I helped recruit some other people. At least I was asked my opinion on it, with some other people that I actually got on the record. The recording process. The crazy thing with me is like my record was Bust a Move was like cracking. I was on the road, constant, multiple tours, the like. So it was an evening. I was picked up, driven to the studio. It was just Dre and the engineer and me and maybe one security person. I went in, did my verse. Dre told me what to do. In out. I don't even think I was there 2 hours. You know what I mean? It was just quick enough to go in and do it, and then went back. And the video, the whatever day the regular shoot was when all the artists were together, I wasn't available. I was on the road. So then that's when they literally said, put on this t-shirt, walk down this alley and do your verse. And the irony of it is I take pride in all the stuff that I do, but I don't like to brag about, how good I think it is or whatever. I just try and put my all into it. I started doing my All in the Same Gang verse on my show a few years ago. And now as the commemorations are happening and that kind of stuff, people are telling me how
Brothers,
strong they
kill
felt
another
that verse
brother.
was
I thought the
in
idea was
terms
to
of,
love one another.
yeah, I mean, because that's not the typical, that's not what you were hearing from West Coast rappers at the time. But I'm like,
Yeah.
I felt honored and I felt a responsibility. So not only to be honest with it, but also to rap it as good as I could, because there was always this stigma that West Coast rappers didn't have as good as skills.
Bars.
So I wanted to show skills that good on a record that was going to get that much, you know, that much light. Brixton,
I have a
London, best
follow-up.
Caribbean food. That's interesting. Go ahead.
I have a follow-up. One of the most iconic nights in my hip-hop life was when you and the rest of the crew did We're All in the Same Gang on the Arsenio Hall show. Can you please tell us what the vibe was like? Take us back to that night, because I remember staying up late. My mom let me stay up late. It was such an exciting night as a hip hop fan.
First, on a self-deprecating way, I made a really poor fashion choice. I was wearing some kind of gray short set, just trying to distinguish myself. And looking back on it, that was not my best choice. Having said that, went out there, rocked it, did my thing. Eazy was there. I went to hug Eazy. Let me hug him because he went on with a bulletproof vest. So if you look at Eazy, Eazy's clothes are bulky that night. And the irony of it is, at the video shoot, everybody wasn't necessarily all together, and definitely at the studio, everybody wasn't all together. But because of the gravity of not only the message of the song, but the light that was being shined on the West Coast at the time, there was a lot of beef, I think, that was put to the side to make that happen. And when I saw Kendrick's pop out, it brought back those memories
Very
of
reminiscent
people
of that.
that
Very
standing
reminiscent
on
of that.
the same stage that in previous times would have had beef or wouldn't have been together. You know what I mean? So that was the thing that really made it emotional for me, just seeing how the pop out jumped off.
Right, right.
Man. And both of y'all knew Michael Concepcion. I mean, it took a very important figure to make that happen, right? Like, not too many people could have made that happen.
Very much so. And the interesting thing, he had no music business experience. He knew some people, but he literally turned that project into having, a label, grand jury, and was able to parlay that into something amazing. And as time goes on, and I get into my own, situations of putting projects together, I just see the brilliance of it. Not only the ability to get everybody together, but even coming to somebody like me, who's not from the West Coast, not gang affiliated. My perspective is going to be almost as an outsider, but he wanted that perspective. And I could have easily got on the record, be like, and made reference to how many records I sold or bust a move or what. I didn't do any of that, dude. I literally took it from, this is the topic we're talking about. This is what we're discussing. This has been my experience in the little time that I've been here. Let me communicate that, and maybe some people can relate to that.
Wow.
Thank you. If you guys have any questions for Young MC, please post them in the comments, and we'll definitely get to them during the show.
Oh man, it's really for me. It's really refreshing to sit here and talk to you today, man. Because not being a gangster myself, and you've been able to fare your way through the record industry all these years by not being a gangster, and it's just amazing that after all this time you still can get your money. There's still a audience that wants to hear what you have to say,